Disability. We are here with your online mathematics and RE5 facilitator and coach, Coach K. Today I'll be answering question 2.11 and 2.12 from the June grade 12 math exam question paper. This series of answering mathematics and RE5 exam question papers will continue even after the exams are done. I'll be posting 2 videos each day, one answering mathematics exam question paper and the other answering an RE5 exam question paper every day, 365 days a year. Let's dive into it. Okay, so now we are done with question 1. So now we are dealing with question 2, right? So now the question here is, given the arithmetic sequence, all right? So this sequence, so 85, 82, 79, 76, all right? So we will be answering these 2 questions. Okay, so they say that determine, we'll start with this one. Determine a simplified expression for Tn. Okay, then the second one will be, which term would be the first negative number in the sequence? Okay, but we'll first start with this one. Okay, so let's get on it. Okay, so what we have here, right? They say determine a simplified expression for Tn. Okay, so we have a sequence here, right? Which is 85, 82, 79, 76. Okay, so remember, in an arithmetic sequence, the general formula for the nth term, Tn, is given by Tn is equals to A plus N minus 1 times a D. All right. So A here, let me just change the color. So A here is the first term. All right. And then you have D here. D is the common difference between the consecutive terms. All right. So it's the difference here. All right. Between these consecutive terms. All right. Okay. Now you have the N. So N here is the term number. All right. So, okay. Now for this sequence, right? The first term A, okay, let me just change the color. So the first term A here, just write A is equals to 85. All right. So now, let me do this here. So the common difference here, which is this one, is the difference between the consecutive terms, as I explained, all right? So now we'll say D is equals to 82 minus 85, which was equal to a -3, all right? So remember, so now the difference here is a -3, all right? And also understand the definition of an arithmetic sequence, right? So we understand that it is a sequence of numbers, right? Where the difference between any of the 2 consecutive terms, is a constant, right? So here is our -3 here, right? So if you say 82 minus 85, we'll get a -3, right? If you say 79 minus an 82, get a -3. So this is descending, okay? Okay. Now, what we need to do now is we'll substitute, right? A is equals to 85 and D equals to -3 into the general formula, right? Into this particular formula, okay? So just say Tn is equals to, our A is 85, all right? So go to 85 plus bracket n minus 1 times minus 3. Okay, so our expression now will be Tn 85. All right, so we'll say 3 times n here will give us, so here is our negative 3, right? So we'll have negative 3 times n, it will give us a negative 3n, all right? And negative 3n times a negative 1, it will give us a positive 3, all right? So now we'll end up with, so it's 85. So we'll just say 85 plus 3, it will give us 88, all right? Minus 3n. Okay. So our simplified expression now is 88 minus 3n. So now we've answered this. So now it's time for us to go to the second question. Now they're asking, which term would be the first negative number in the sequence, right? So we know that, so now we're gonna take Tn, we're gonna set Tn to be less than a 0, okay? Because we know that anything that is less than a 0 is a negative. So we'll use this inequality, okay? And then we'll then solve for n, okay? So remember the expression that we had. We had Tn is equals to this. This was our answer, right? 88 minus 3n. Okay. So now, because we have set Tn to be less than 0, we can therefore take this expression, okay? We can therefore take, say, 88 minus 3n to be less than a 0, right? So now here we'll then solve for n. Okay, so say 88, right, is less than 3n. So we've taken this 3n to this side. Remember, the sign changes now. It becomes a positive. So whenever you are transposing, it changes. It becomes a positive, or it can become a negative if it was a positive. Okay. So now we'll say, we'll then divide both sides by 3. Sorry. Because now we want to be left with this n. Divide both sides by 3. Okay. So now what will we have here? Less than 29,33, which is the same as saying n. Yes, I'm just going to put it on the side. 29,33. Okay. However, since n must be a whole number, right? So the smallest integer greater than 29,33 is n is equals to 30. Okay, so because it must be a whole number, right? Thus, the 30th term, right, will be a negative number, in the sequence. Okay, I'll show you how. Let's use this particular expression, right? We'll say Tn is equals to 88 minus 3 bracket 30 is equals to, okay, let me just write it here. Okay, it's equals to 88 minus, so it's 3 times 30, which will give you a 90, all right? Which is equals to a negative 2. Okay, so now we know that the 30th term is a -2. All right, is negative. Okay, so therefore, the first negative term occurs at n is equals to 30. So at n is equals to 30, that's when we get the first negative term. Okay, thank you.